Today we're off to Thurlestone Beach, which is on the Devon coast, south of Dartmoor. It's a horrible day on Dartmoor. It's not stopped raining, it's windy, so rather than walking across the moors today, we thought we'd see what it was like at the beach. As you can see, it was pretty much the same. Windy, raining, but off we went anyway, and I put Fairy's GoPro on her dog harness and thought we'll see if she can do some running with that today. So when we let her off, she did go off and have a nice run, but with it being windy again, we found that the same as the last time when we were on Harlech Beach in the wind, she didn't want to run as fast as she usually does. I think it's hard work for her running in the wind against the wind resistance. And the sand at this beach was quite deep as well, which would have made it harder work for her. As it was such a cold, windy day, she was wearing a light, thin raincoat today to run in, just to keep the chill off her. So you can see that buffering up around her neck and her collar area today, but that's just to make sure that she doesn't get a chill. She got really excited and was doing lots of spinning around. That's zoomies. Thurlestone is a lovely beach. It's got a big rock arch out in the sea. We arrived a couple of hours before low tide, so we couldn't walk up to it, but give it a couple more hours and you'd have been able to walk out to that big rocky arch and also round to the next bay. We bought a squeaky toy for Fairy to play fetch with. She's getting much better now at sometimes bringing it back to you and not running off with it. There was a little cave that we went into, walked in one way and out the other. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thanks for all your lovely comments on my videos. It's really nice to see that Fairy brings pleasure to so many people and they enjoy watching her on her adventures. Again, if there's anything else you'd like to see Fairy doing, comment below and I'll see if I can make a video for you to answer any questions you might have. The sea was very rough today with lots of big waves, but when the sea came in and sort of got Fairy's legs, she wasn't as scared as she usually is. She just stood there. Normally she'd have run a mile when the sea touched her legs. She's getting used to it now. I took some chicken treats for her and gave her her regular treats while she was in between running and fetching her squeaky toy. She was really funny. Every time she'd finished playing with her toy and had enough, she started digging a hole to bury her toy in. Here she is frantically digging away. And once she thinks her hole is deep enough, she dropped her toy into it, hoping that we wouldn't find it. And here she is digging another hole further down the beach. This time it wasn't to lay in, it was to bury her toy. Thurlestone's a dog-friendly beach. There were quite a few dogs on the beach today. A couple of dogs came over to Fairy, but she really wasn't very interested in them. She just ignored them, carried on digging her hole. She's such a good girl with other dogs around her on the beach. She's a very friendly, calm, laid-back dog. This dog wanted to play, but she just wasn't interested. Got some nice GoPro footage of her running today. She did want to stick by me again today in the windy weather. I tried to encourage her to run off ahead of me, but she kept stopping. I think partly because I'm holding her squeaky toy in my pocket, and she knows I've got chicken treats as well. But again, she didn't stray far from me today. She seemed to tire quite quickly today and wanted to lay down a few times and have a rest. I think it was because of the wind and the deep sand. Took a lot out of her. So we kept stopping for some chicken treats and some water from her doggy water bottle, which she didn't really drink much of today, being a cool day. She did want to use it to wash the sand out of her mouth, though, that she'd got on from picking up her sandy toy. And when we got back to the van, I did check her eyes, wash her eyes out with water in case she'd got any sand in them because it was windy. I had hoped again to be able to try the drone out on this trip, but it's just not been the weather for it. The whole time here has been windy, rainy, and not suitable for flying a drone. So we'll try again. I should probably practice flying it at home first before bringing it to the beach in case I crash it in the sea. We've got a few long sandy beaches around the Norfolk area, which isn't far from Essex, where we come from. So I'll be taking her there one weekend soon to get some more beach footage using the GoPro and the drone. Hopefully we'll get a nice calm day so that she runs fast too. She really isn't a fan of running in the wind. When I first got Fairy, she didn't really interact with me much at all on walks and things, but now she really engages with us and is really playful. She's decided she's had enough again, so she's going to dig a hole and bury her toy. Taking a squeaky toy out with a greyhound is a really good way to get their attention if they have wandered off and you need to get them back. She's obsessed with her squeaky toy, so as soon as I squeak it, she runs straight over to me. We decided to see if Matt held her at the cave area, and I walked up the beach as far as I could get and then called her, see how quick she'd run over to me. So he held her there, and I went up the beach. You see how she watches me the whole time with her ears pricked. And he releases her, and off she goes. You can see she started off with some speed, but as she got closer and closer to me, she did slow down quite a lot. I think she found it quite tiring. Nice to see from her point of view how she sees the beach as she's running along it. And I was standing squeaking her toy at the other end, which was her reward for coming back. Love watching her ears, all alert and pricked up. I did throw it a few times and she didn't see it land. The wind was blowing it, so it looked as if it was going to be thrown in one direction and the wind would bring it back the other way, which confused her. You can see here she's getting confused and not sure where the toy landed. I tried to throw it across this river, but the wind blew it back. I thought it was going to get washed down into the sea, but she managed to grab it in time. So there we go. A lovely day on Thurlestone Beach. Fairy had lots of fun again. Hope you enjoyed watching her playing with her toys and running with the GoPro camera. After that we headed back across the moors. You can see how misty, cloudy and wet the weather was. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on your notifications, and look out for Fairy's next video.